Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Time Spiral Remastered draft. Now, I'm trying to think. I kind of want to draft funguses, but Rift Bolt is too good to pass in my opener. Blighted Woodland is a ramp card, technically. I have no idea how it would play in Limited. That, Madness Black deck we played against the other day was insane. I kind of want to draft that, but I think Rift Bolt is too good to pass. Okay, so in this pack, I could do Gathan Raiders. Joyra, there's nothing big enough worth cheating out on like turn 7 or 8. I don't think. Not with her anyway. Let's see, I could take Keldon Halberdier. There's a Haze of Rage. And Haze of Rage is actually a really, really powerful aggro card. Just anthem your creatures for every spell cast this turn. If we get a bunch of Mog War Marshals again, I can do Storm. I don't want to, though. I'd much rather take, like, Deep Cavern Imp and try and do something silly, but... if it's good, it's good. Plus, how often do you get to play Storm in Limited? Right? Like, alright, we got a Baral. There's a Reiterate. There's the War Marshal I'm looking for. The more of these we get, the better this deck becomes. Brawl is pretty good, though. Just reducing the cost of all your instants and sorceries. We're probably not countering anything, though. I'm going to take the War Marshal. The War Marshal directly contributes to the plan that I want to have. And if I could just have 6 War Marshals in a deck and a Haze of Rage, I think I'm good. Get like 2 Suspend cards, and then just Haze of Rage X3. Good luck. Teamer Battle Rage. That's a strong aggressive card. I don't know if we'll have any creatures large enough to take advantage of it, but I'm still gonna take it. It just seems good. This is a card that also seems to fit well in the old border. Just like the art is like the right saturation, layout, and color scheme to me to like appear in the old border. It just looks good. Brute Force or Dead and Gone. Both of these cards are good. Brute Force synergizes with Battle Rage, though, and it's also sort of like a Lightning Bolt. It's 1 mana for 3 damage. Dead and Gone has a lot more versatility and can hit some stuff that's normally out of range of red cards. But I mean, like, if we get to 5 mana, we can just have, like, Rift Bolt come off Suspend, Brute Force, Teamer Battle Rage, Haze of Rage. So, I think that's what we're doing. This is going to be like Kiln Fiend minus the Kiln Fiend at this rate, which is pretty cool. I'm okay with that. This seems like a different deck than I was playing yesterday. Although, I will take Grinning Ignis, because Grinning Ignis Haze of Rage seems fun. What is going on with my hair today? Something crazy. I will take Rift Elemental. It's another card. This potentially is something we could get up to Teamer Battle Rage synergy with. We're still in Booster 1, and red seems to be drying up fast, so someone else is in red, which sucks. Because last draft, no one was in red, except for me. Boom and Bust. I do love land destruction, but I don't think it will work in this deck. Plus, we're really light on creatures. I'm going to take Skirk Shaman. Skirk Shaman we saw good against any deck that isn't red. Like, this card is actually a really good rate, which is funny. It's just like a 3-mana 2/2 with Intimidate is good. Quite aggressive, even. Okay, we can get a Coal Stoker. We can get a Grape Shot, or we can get a Riddle of Lightning. Riddle of Lightning is slightly more mana than I want to be using in a deck like this. Like, this deck is much lower to the ground. I think I'm going to take Coal Stoker. I don't think we need Grape Shot. Coal Stoker, Haze of Rage seems good. It's almost to Teamer Battle Rage by itself. So, there's the Mog War Marshal we saw earlier. Another Rift Elemental, or Joyra. I will take another Rift Elemental. I don't know that I'm playing 2. I will take Reiterate. We could copy a Rift Bolt. Another Rift Elemental. Now I'm getting too deep with Rift Elementals. I'll take a Siphon Mage. I think black would be a fine backup color to be in. Gossamer Phantasm is actually a pretty aggressively costed creature, even for an Illusion Rider. Like, it's super easy to kill just by targeting it, but it is a 2-mana 2/1 flyer. Return to Dust in the side. I'll move these to the side too. We got 12 total playable cards from that pack, and in reality, it's probably closer to 10, because I think we can only really play 1 Rift Elemental, unless I get a lot of Rift Bolts. Ponder. I would so take Ponder, too. But I can't pass Rift Bolt, because this card is insane in this deck. Yep. Ah, man. I love playing Ponder, too. I want to play Ponder in almost any deck I can. Just because it's never legal in any format I want to play. But I'm not passing Lightning Bolt in a mono red deck like this. Empty the Warrens or Rift Bolt? Oh... Man, I think I gotta take Rift Bolt. Empty is great. It's also a common. I think Rift Bolt is more likely to get picked, so we're gonna take Rift Bolt. What did I say about Rift Elemental? I can't play this card unless I get a whole bunch of Rift Bolts. Oh, Bedlam Reveler. How many instants and sorceries do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, I might actually be able to play a Bedlam Reveler. That would be crazy. Yeah, we're taking Bedlam Reveler. Oh, this is not... I'm glad this is different than the last deck I just drafted, but... Oh... Vandal Blast, Gathan Raiders, Coal Stoker, Homing Sliver. I don't think Vandal Blast is going to be necessary. I think we take Coal Stoker. Gathan Raiders is great, but on 5, if we have like multiple Coal Stokers into Haze of Rage, that would be great too. Yeah, I'm going to take the Coal Stoker. Molten Rain? Who put that in this format? It's not likely my opponent is going to have non-basic lands. Like, the storage lands are cards that you do have to look out for a little bit. I'm going to take the Grape Shot. Another Brute Force. There's a Thick-Skinned Goblin as well. A Dead and Gone. I'm taking Brute Force. I really want Thick-Skinned Goblin because there's several echo costs in red that if you don't have to pay them are just crazy good. But Brute Force it is. Arch of Arazka. Another Haze of Rage? Oh my gosh, yes. Haze of Rage. I don't think we're going to get to 10 permanents on board. And Haze of Rage has buyback. Maybe I am playing these Rift Elementals just to have extra creatures on board. Holy crap. I'll take Ancient Grudge for the sideboard. Alright, Halberdier is great here. Urborg would let me basically splash black, but I don't think it's necessary. If this were like blue-red, Snapback could actually be insanely good. Just like Force of Unsummon to get another instant in the grave for Bedlam Reveler, Prowess for Bedlam Reveler, free Storm Count. But I'm going to take the Suspend card. Sulfur Elemental is a 3-mana 3/2 with Flash that can also hate on white cards, so definitely taking that. Passing up on Dryad Arbor. That Dryad Arbor is really mean looking because it looks exactly like a forest. I will take another Grape Shot. If we could get even one Grinning Ignis. Just one. Man, if we suspend Halberdier on turn 1, and the turn before Halberdier suspend 3 Rift Bolts. It's just like Storm. I'll take the random red sliver. I'm probably not playing it unless I'm really hurting for creatures, but we almost have enough playables. Yeah, we're gonna take the creature just because we're a little light on creatures. Simian Spirit Guide. Thangro Rage into the side. So, Empty the Warrens did not wheel. Somebody picked up Empty the Warrens. I will probably take it if I can find one at this point. So there's an Arcblade, Two-Headed Sliver, Gathan Raiders. There's a Hypergenesis in this pack, I just realized. I completely skimmed over that card. It's, I think, Eureka. Yeah, it's Eureka, but with Suspend. This card is banned in just about every format because of the 0 CMC Cascade shenanigans. So the play is either to take Arcblade or Gathan Raiders. I think it's Arcblade. There's a Become Immense. Oh, Walk the Aeons. I love Walk the Aeons. Okay, we got a Char Rumbler, a Battering Sliver, a Dead and Gone, another Rift Elemental. I think we take Dead and Gone. I don't know how many Rift Elementals I can play, but I think that number ends somewhere around 3, maybe 4. So I'll take Dead and Gone. Man, if we could get like a Old Border Swift Spear or something, because I think Swift Spear is one of the time-shifted cards. Haze of Rage number 3? I think I have to take the Skirk Shaman, because I don't have an Empty the Warrens. I don't know how many Haze of Rages I can actually play. I know at this rate I'm probably not playing Reiterate. I may not be playing Needle Spider. This deck is going to be either really insane or horrible. Although Arcblade has some really good synergy with Rift Elemental. because this is the card that continuously resuspends itself. Leyline of the Void. There's an Empty the Warrens. There's also a Sting Scourger. This is definitely an Empty the Warrens deck, though. We gotta take this one. I'm missing out on a few tickets for Leyline. Okay, we've got Shivan Meteor, which only hits creatures. Not gonna take Homing Sliver. We're not playing like any of these cards. I guess I would take a Snapback for the sideboard. Gathen Raiders is fine. Yeah, we're not playing Reiterate. Panharmonicon? There's a Panharmonicon in this format? Oh my goodness. Oh, we have 2 War Marshals. It's really good with Coal Stoker. Do we have any other Enter the Battlefield? We do with Bedlam Reveler. I don't think I could. I'm taking it, because I'm not. I could take Riddle of Lightning, actually. Riddle of Lightning's really good with Bedlam Reveler. I'm taking Riddle of Lightning. I really want Panharmonicon to work, but it would if I had like 4 Mog War Marshals or something crazy like that. Sting Scourger is definitely what I'm going with here. Grape Shot, I'm not playing a third one. I don't even have the Grinning Ignis to like make Grape Shot really good. I will take a Storage Land. Battering Sliver is bad. I will take another Rift Elemental, but I don't think I'm playing 4. Only because Battering Sliver is way too slow, and Char Rumbler is also way too slow. Haze of Rage came all the way around. Sure, we'll just play 3 of them. I don't, whatever. Urza's Factory, I guess if we get into the ultra late game, could work. Shivan Meteor into the sideboard. Judge Unworthy. Battering Sliver into the sideboard. What is this deck? It's another Storm deck. And I mean, I didn't want to draft this, but you gave me 3 Rift Bolts. What do you expect here? Oh man. So let's group creatures separately. So Rift Elemental is somewhat good because we do have Keldon Halberdier. We have Arcblade, which is always going to be suspended. Once it's suspended, it's always suspended. So Rift Elemental is somewhat fine. I just don't think we can play 4 of them. Dead and Gone, Battle Rage, Haze of Rage, Grape Shot. Grape Shot is probably our worst Storm card, but there's still a lot of X ones, and we do have a lot of support for casting spells and stuff quickly and early. I think I'm going to cut a Spirit Guide, a Rift Elemental, Needle Peak Spider. Empty the Warrens is actually just a creature, even if it's a bad creature. This is still a 1-drop. I have to cut 4 cards, and they have to be non-creatures, because I need some number of actual creatures to play this game. So Riddle of Lightning, we have a decent number of 4/5 and 1 8-drop. I think it's fine cutting a Haze of Rage. The card is really good, but it does have buyback, so we can just like late game use it to feed itself, I guess. Sulfur Elemental is a 3-mana 3/2. Coal Stoker helps with random storm count. War Marshal Sting Scourger is great. Great rate for stuff. Man, Brute Force, Battle Rage is going to be an insane 4-mana combo. So the problem with this deck is going to be consistency. Because like if I get a Bedlam Reveler and like no instants and sorceries, I'm never playing the Bedlam Reveler. I still have to cut 3 cards. I'm going to cut the Grape Shot. I'm going to bring the Grape Shots in if my opponent plays like a bunch of X ones. But I think without Grinning Ignis, the card's just not that great. I mean, I can cut a Coal Stoker. I don't want to, though, because of the synergy with Empty the Warrens. But I'm also, like, in my mind, it's ambitious because it's like, well, in order for Coal Stokers to be good, I need to, like, have 6 mana, have both of them, and then, Coal Stoker, Empty. I do have a Storage Land, so it's not impossible that we get there or anything by any means. It's just not super likely. I'm going to cut Sulfur Elemental and bring it in versus white decks. And I think I'm going to run 41 cards and just be inconsistent. Is it worth it to run Urza's Factory? I don't think so. We have so many red mana symbols. I think we can't. All right, I've got another deck. Rift Elemental aggro. Let's see what happens. We got 3 Rift Bolts, so all right, we will be on the play for round 1. On the draw, excuse me. I said the exact opposite of what I intended. I can work with this, so I'm going to keep. Opponent starts Plains, Children of Corliss. Draw Bedlam Reveler. Play Mountain, Rift Elemental. Pass the turn. It's worth remembering that Gathen Raiders has Morph. We untap, draw a mountain, play a mountain. Just gonna kill this. I don't want them gaining life. If we have like a big combo turn, they could just gain it all back. That would be super annoying. Okay, opponent plays Plains, Aven Rift Watcher, they gain life. We untap and draw Brute Force. So, play a mountain. Is it worth using Brute Force here? I don't think so. I think we just Morph Gathen Raiders. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an Amuro Seekers, hits us for 2 in the air, that's fine. We untap and draw Skirk Shaman. So, go to combat. Attack here. Opponent doesn't block. I'm gonna miss 1 point of damage and play the Skirk Shaman. Pass the turn. Okay, Rift Watcher, taken down to 1. They play a land. They go to combat, attack us for 4. We take 4, go to 13. They play a Flicker Wisp, exiling Rift Watcher. Okay, that's bad, because that gains them a ton of life. We untap and draw Haze of Rage. So I could do something like Pitch Coal Stoker, Brute Force, Skirk Shaman, cast Haze of Rage. I think I'm okay with that. Attack them for 15. They're probably going to block. No blocks, they go to 8. Okay. Griffin Guide, +2/+2 and flying. We take 7, go to 6. We untap and draw Molten Slag Heap. How much is this? 5 mana. Play Slag Heap. Oh, I can't. I'm 1 instant or sorcery off of playing Bedlam Reveler. Yeah, but we can't do anything there. Okay. Maybe using Dead and Gone was a little premature. I'm going to bring in Grape Shot because they do have a couple of X1s that I wouldn't mind killing. I think dropping a Coal Stoker is fine. This also helps with Bedlam Reveler slightly. Although now we're pretty light on creatures, so that's something we have to be aware of. I would like to play first. I can't mulligan that much with this. I need to remember that. I'm not playing Tron. I have something on 1. If I play Sting Scourger on 2, I lose it. I'm going to have trouble emptying this hand to get to Hellbent for Gathen Raiders. I think I am going to go to 6. This hand is awful. But is it though? Alright, we're going to keep. Put back a mountain. I'm going to wait to suspend this Rift Bolt. Play a mountain, pass the turn. In theory, if we draw anything that's not a land, we're fine. When it starts, Children of Corliss. We draw Keldon Halberdier. Okay, that's good. Suspend Halberdier. Pass the turn. This can help us set up for like a big storm turn. They hit us for 1. Halberdier ticking down. We draw Mog War Marshal. So play a mountain. Play War Marshal. Get a token. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Goes to combat. Well, they go to main. They play an Amuro Seekers. Okay. No attacks. We untap. Halberdier ticking down. War Marshal I will pay for. We draw Teamer Battle Rage. Okay. Play a mountain. I'm going to wait 1 more turn to suspend Rift Bolt. Opponent attacks for 2. No blocks because it has Intimidate. We take 2, go to 17. Opponent Flicker Wisps. I'm surprised they flickered that and not the token to get rid of it, but we draw Haze of Rage. So suspend Rift Bolt. Pass the turn. And we're going to go for a huge combo next turn. Opponent attacks us for 5. We go to 12. Okay, we untap. Rift Bolt coming off suspend. We have to hit Children of Corliss with it, otherwise they just gain all of this life that we're trying to hit them for back. Which sucks, because if they didn't have Children of Corliss in their deck, we would actually probably kill them this turn. Okay, Halberdier comes off suspend. We draw. I hope they don't have instant speed removal for Halberdier. Coal Stoker. That is almost... If we had 1 more land, that would be insane. Maybe I should have put back Bedlam Reveler. Battle Rage. Haze of Rage. Go to combat. Hit you for 18. Actually, way more than that. Hit you for 26. Okay, that's how we drew it up. That's what we wanted to happen. I run it back. Maybe I shouldn't be playing Bedlam Reveler. I know if it's in my opening hand, I'm going to mulligan it for sure. Unless my hand is so many instants and sorceries, but... Okay, we got a 1-drop. No suspend shenanigans, but we have removal. Okay, opponent starts plains. We draw a mountain, play Rift Elemental, pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp into an Amro Scout. We draw Brute Force, so dead the Scout, which is a very weird sentence to say. Hit my opponent for 1. Opponent untaps, plays a plains, plays an Amro Seekers. We untap, draw a mountain, play a mountain, morph Gathan Raiders, pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a swamp, goes to combat. They attack. We can't block because the morph creature, while colorless, is not an artifact creature. They play Flicker Wisp. They're going to flicker so they can untap their creature. Okay. They get it back. We untap. We draw Rift Bolt. Okay. So play a mountain, suspend Rift Bolt, take the last counter off Rift Bolt. So it's the same price, but it makes our Rift Elemental much larger. Kill Flicker Wisp. Go to combat. Attack them for 5. Opponent no blocks. I'm going to keep this mountain in hand. I'm not... am I? Yeah, we're just going to hit them for 5. Okay, take them to 14. We got to know when to use our burst. And a card like Haze of Rage absolutely would make our burst way better. I can't F6 here because I do have a Brute Force, and it might be important because my opponent could have something like, what's it called? Not Blight Speakers, that's for sure. I was going to say Icker Slick. Alright, we untap. We draw a Mog War Marshal. Play a mountain. Go to combat. Attack them for 2. Opponent does not double block. Play War Marshal. Pass the turn. We do need to discard a card for Gathan Raiders, but I think we need to wait until we hit a land. Opponent plays an Aven Riftwatcher. That's really annoying because now they gain life. I guess even if they couldn't play it, they could draw it this turn. And the Blight Speakers we do sort of have to worry about. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is Riddle of Lightning Riftwatcher on my upkeep. Oh, man, yeah. Okay, so we need the 3 or 4 mana spell to kill it this turn. I want the Grape Shot. I want the Rift Bolt. So I don't actually really want Empty the Warren. Maybe I do. Put Empty the Warrens back. Put Grape Shot back. Put Rift Bolt on top. Draw Rift Bolt. Opponent gains 2 life. We're not keeping the War Marshal. So we draw Rift Bolt. Go to combat. Attack for 2. I will discard Brute Force if they double block, but they don't. So we're going to wipe my opponent's board next turn and do a bunch of damage. 4 mana. Opponent tutors with Blight Speaker. Another Riftwatcher, maybe? Has my opponent not been doing the life drain from Blight Speaker? I'm not going to blame them if they aren't, but... Riftmarked Knight. Okay. So take the 2. We untap. We draw Grape Shot. Okay. So suspend Rift Bolt. Take the counter off. Have Rift Bolt come off suspend. Kill the Knight. Storm count is 1. Rift Elemental gets bigger. Grape Shot Blight Speaker. Opponent makes us lose a life. Kill the other Blight Speaker. Go to combat. Hit them for a lot. I probably shouldn't have put Empty the Warrens back. If I ditch Brute Force now, it's 3 damage also, so I just lose out on 2 Goblin tokens. I think that's okay. Hit them for 10. They go to 4. And now we have a 5/5. And we get there. Man, Rift Elemental Rift Bolt into Storm card. That is the kind of shenanigans I want to be playing. Not that combo Storm garbage. Get that out of here. We're playing aggro Storm now. Alright, we get to be on the play. And unfortunately we have no lands in this hand, so we have to mulligan. This hand is fine. We put back Bedlam Reveler. Kind of just want to draw a couple of lands to start off with. If we don't, like, we can pay for the Echo cost on War Marshal, like, so we do have some... we do have something to spend our mana on early here. We draw Halberdier, play a mountain, go to combat, attack them for 1. They go to 19. I really want to suspend this Halberdier, but I think playing War Marshal is correct. Pass the turn. Depending on what my opponent does is going to dictate whether or not I pay the Echo cost. Cautery Sliver. Okay, I don't think I'm going to pay the Echo cost. We draw Haze of Rage. Suspend Halberdier. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Okay, I'm going to brute force to save this, because we want to be taking counters off that Halberdier. If my opponent stumbles and can't play a blocker this turn, okay, they play a Homing Sliver. We untap. Halberdier ticking down. Arcblade will be great. So take a counter off of Halberdier. Go to combat. Attack for 5. They should block the 3-1, unless they have removal specifically for it next turn and they want to save Homing Sliver. Okay, yeah. Because us accelerating that Halberdier, even a single turn, makes a huge difference. Opponent plays a Plains. If we could draw a land, that would be the best. Opponent plays a Bone Splitter Sliver. Halberdier ticks down to 1. We draw Haze of Rage. Well, not doing anything else this turn. Might as well make our guys able to trade. Go to combat. Attack for 4. No blocks for the opponent. They go to 12. Opponent plays a Forest. Hits us for 4. We go to 16. They play a Gemhide Sliver and another Homing Sliver. We untap. Halberdier coming off suspend. Cast it. We draw War Marshal. Well, Haze of Rage. And they got to do some blocking, because this is lethal if they don't. They're trading off Gemhide Sliver. They change their mind. Okay. So they take 6, go to 6, pass the turn. That Halberdier having first strike makes a huge difference. Maybe I should be playing the 4th Rift Elemental. I definitely didn't respect that card before. Opponent hits us for 12. We go to 4. Untap and draw Teamer Battle Rage. That's lethal. Yay, Teamer Battle Rage! 2 lands? Who needs lands? Oh, that's so dirty. Okay, man. In theory, my opponent is playing some of the white slivers, so maybe I bring in Sulfur Elemental. They do have red creatures, so Skirk Shaman's not as good. Sulfur Elemental's, I guess, technically easier to cast if we have a Molten Slag Heap. No, actually it's not. We don't have multiple colorless lands in this deck. But it does have a higher power. It technically has relevant abilities, and we could surprise a blocker, maybe. They do have a couple of X1s. Maybe we bring in Grape Shot. Grape Shot... Is Grape Shot better than anything here? I don't think so. We'll just run it back. Grape Shot might be better than Riddle of Lightning, actually. Man, I wish I had a Suspend card. I think this is still fine. We have early removal, just no pressure early. I'm going to mulligan this hand. Okay, I can work with this. We'll keep. I'm putting back Coal Stoker. Okay, we untap. Draw Rift Bolt. So I'm going to lead on Rift Elemental. Next turn, I can, like, dead something, suspend Halberdier. The turn after, if I draw a land, I can suspend and then activate Rift Elemental to cast Rift Bolt. We untap and draw Sulfur Elemental. Play a Mountain. Go to combat. Attack them for 1. They're going to dead, so we can Brute Force. Man, Giant Growth is strong when it's not in green. Yep, suspend Halberdier. We basically got that dead out of their hand for free. Opponent plays Chromatic Star. Are they filtering for a Sinew Sliver? Okay, we draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain. It's unlikely they have a flash creature. Yeah, I think we just take a counter off of Halberdier and attack. The difference between 2 and 3 toughness is negligible here. Or 2 and 3 damage, I think, for an opposing creature. And next turn, we can actually cast Halberdier. You know what? I am going to suspend this Rift Bolt. This format is so slow, and this deck is so fast. Like, generally in a slow format, you can't draft a deck that's this fast. Like, it just doesn't happen. But I finally, like, hit the singularity. Like, we've got this incredibly fast deck in a format that is just too slow for it. There's no catch-up mechanic for my opponent, basically. Okay, they do have a dead. So, Rift Bolt coming off suspend, gonna target our opponent's face. Take them to 10. Halberdier taken down to 1. We draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain past the turn. So on my opponent's end step, we can flash in Sulfur Elemental. We have Dead and Gone if they play a creature. They play Homing Sliver. So, dead the Sliver. They'd have to have a Brute Force to save it, and then they're not using that to be aggressive. They have the Brute Force. Okay. Play Sulfur Elemental. Untap. Halberdier coming off suspend. We draw Mog War Marshal. So go to combat. I'm going to offer the trade here to get in for the extra damage. Opponent takes it. Maybe I should have just attacked with the Halberdier because they are at such a low life total. But if they have the 5-mana sliver that gives +2/+2, like, we just have to pressure our opponent, really. So Rift Bolt's a good draw. Temur Battle Rage is a good draw. Haze of Rage is a good draw. Opponent finds a Plains. Opponent plays a Fungus Sliver. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. So we can only attack with the Halberdier this turn. I am glad I traded. We draw Mountain. Go to combat. Attack for 4 with first strike. Opponent takes 4, goes to 2. And we're going to just hold this Mountain in hand and make them sweat. They're dead to Rift Bolt. They are dead to Arc Blade. They are dead to Battle Rage. They are dead to Haze of Rage. They are dead to a lot of cards we can draw. So they Sunlanced our Keldon Halberdier. We draw Mountain. Play Mountain, pass the turn. We just got to draw a Rift Bolt. We got 2 in the deck. We got a Arc Blade. Battle Rage is no longer lethal. Sliversmith. Okay, that's pretty bad. They hit us for 4. Sure. We untap. We draw empty. Do we attack? Yeah, we actually have to attack, I think. Go to combat. This puts a counter on the Fungus Sliver. It gives us a Goblin, and they basically have to block with Sliversmith because we're representing another Brute Force, and I don't think they've seen both of them. Okay, so we get a Goblin token. They lose Sliversmith. They got something? Thrill of the Hunt. Okay, we're probably just toast now. We have a little bit of time. It's not, I guess it's not so bleak. We have 3 cards in the deck that kill them outright the instant we draw them, so I don't know what my opponent is doing. Okay, cool. This also, because they cast a spell, does at least power up our Empty the Warrens. So we get a Goblin. Now we have 5 Goblins, they only have 3 blockers. So opponent's gotta draw something. This is actually better than I thought it was. I was really worried for a second. I'm glad I didn't just main phase Empty the Warrens like an idiot. Storm counts your opponent's cards too, you gotta remember. I mean, they can discard and make a blocker, but they have to tap Sliversmith to do that. And we definitely just all-out attack here. Go to combat. Attack for 5. If this doesn't work, we're dead. Yeah! Woo! Mono Red Storm aggro! See you guys in round 3. Okay. We are on the draw for round 3. I will be keeping this, I believe. Molten Slag Heap, I think, would be better as a mountain in this particular situation, although, if we get into an awkward situation where we... You know, I don't know. I don't know. Mog War Marshal's good. Start Rift Elemental. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. Plays Blade of the Sixth Pride. We draw Empty the Warrens. Play Molten Slag Heap. Go to combat. Attack for 1. No blocks. Play War Marshal. The perfect blocker for Blade of the Sixth Pride. Okay, no attacks for the opponent. I am going to pay for the War Marshal's ability here. Okay, we draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain. And I'm going to suspend a Rift Bolt. Pass the turn. Actually, I'm going to attack with the Goblin and the Rift Elemental. I should have waited to suspend to give less information. Okay, opponent goes down to 17. They flash in an Aven Mind Sensor. Okay. They play a Plains. Lost Auramancers. So that's going to get bolted. They attack for 2. We go down to 18. Untap. Rift Bolt coming off, suspend. Kill Auramancers. Draw Mountain. Play Mountain. I could have done some Rift Elemental shenanigans, but I had a feeling I was going to draw a land. And I want to cast Empty the Warrens this turn, if possible. Go to combat. Attack for 3. No blocks by the opponent still. Cast Empty. Pass the turn. Now, if we draw Haze of Rage, it's game over. Because we can just Sting Scourger a blocker, Haze of Rage, end of the game. Opponent can't beat that many goblins. That was awesome. That was a turn 4 kill. Okay, so opponent does have a lot of X1s. I'm definitely bringing in a Grape Shot over a Riddle of Lightning. Riddle of Lightning is just too expensive. We need something that's going to happen earlier. And run it back. This deck definitely wouldn't work without 3 Rift Bolts. And like 3 Rift Elementals, completely honestly. I completely underrated this card. I was like, this is just a 1-mana 1/1 that occasionally does stuff. But I forgot that when you take time counters off, it also makes the cards come down faster. And that's a huge, huge deal. Okay. Oh, this hand is so much slower, but we have Arcblade. Arcblade kills a lot of stuff of my opponents. We just don't do anything for so long. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, let's do this. Mono suspend aggro. Putting back Skirk Shaman. If we draw lands, this hand gets insanely good. Opponent mulligan to 5. We draw Coal Stoker, which is the opposite of a land. Suspend Keldon Halberdier, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp into an Omro Scout. We untap, Halberdier ticking down. Draw Rift Elemental, play Rift Elemental, pass the turn. Now if we draw a land, we can accelerate the Halberdier. Opponent plays a Swamp, no attacks. Halberdier ticking down to 2. We draw Grape Shot. Suspend Rift Bolt, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains, no attacks. So Rift Bolt gonna come off suspend. Opponent's tutoring up a Rebel. Rothy Trapper. Okay. So cast Rift Bolt, kill Trapper. Halberdier ticking down. We draw a Mountain, play Mountain, Grape Shot, ping our opponent, kill their creature, go to combat, hit them for 1. Opponent untaps. Halberdier coming off suspend. Cast Halberdier. We draw a Mountain, play Mountain, go to combat. Unless they have like a Wing Shards, I think they're probably in a not great place. They have Tendrils. Okay, that gains them a bunch of life. I just clicked through an attack and missed a damage. Alright, play Raiders face down, pass the turn. So we missed 1 point of damage this game. Hopefully that's not too bad. If we draw a land, we can Coal Stoker, suspend, remove a counter from Rift Bolt, then even flip the Morph and do something crazy. Just tons of damage. Opponent's going to Sunlance the Morph, and I can flip it, but it doesn't do anything if I do. So we lose the Morph. We untap, draw a Mountain, play a Mountain, play Coal Stoker, add mana, suspend Rift Bolt, remove a counter from Rift Bolt, shoot my opponent. There's a little bit of a waste, because if they have removal for the Rift Elemental now, they're gonna Isolation the Coal Stoker. Okay. Hit them for 3, they go to 14. Sting Scourger can only return my opponent's creatures to their hand, not mine, so I can't bounce the Coal Stoker and get more value out of it. We untap, draw Teamer Battle Rage, go to combat, the old 14-turn clock, hit them down to 13, pass the turn. Opponent suspended a Mind Stab. Interesting. So we need to use up all the cards in our hand before Mind Stab comes off suspend. We untap, draw a Mountain, play a Mountain, go to combat. Hit them for 1. Pass the turn. I probably should just play out Sting Scourger as a Grizzly Bears, but... Castle Raptors. Okay. We have Storm cards, so that's kind of why I'm not doing what I was thinking about doing. Play Sting Scourger. Bounce Castle Raptors. Go to combat. Get in for 1. Hit them to 11. They replay Castle Raptors. We untap. Pay the Echo cost, draw a Mountain, play a Mountain, go to combat, attack with everybody. We're losing our hand regardless, so in a way this Mind Stab is kind of forcing me to lose a creature here. They block Rift Elemental? I guess that's fair. Battle Rage. I mean, that's kind of how I was hoping they would block, but... This opponent Mind Stabs an opponent with empty hand. Man, now if we could draw... Bedlam Reveler. That's exactly the... I couldn't think of the name. It's like, is the guy with prowess? Yep. Play Bedlam Reveler. Opponent has a Tendrils of Corruption, which explains why they played the way they did. We get a Rift Elemental and a Dead and Gone. This is a 3/3. Play a Mountain, play Rift Elemental, and pass the turn. We can unsummon Castle Raptors next turn, or we could just shock something. Enslave. Sure. We're gonna let them attack, unless they're really chicken. Yeah, that's fine. They hit us for 3. I'm glad I didn't immediately blow this Dead and Gone, because I can pick up my Bedlam Reveler again. Yeah, buddy! Whew, all the value. Drawn so many cards here. Hang on a minute. Haze of Rage. How much does this cost? 3? Okay. Cast Haze of Rage. Cast Bedlam Reveler for 2. Draw 3 cards. Play Slag Heap. Now I can either Haze of Rage with buyback, or I can play Skirk Shaman. I think I play Skirk Shaman, actually. Go to combat. Attack them for 2. We'll put a storage counter on Molten Slag Heap. They played Dusk Rider Peregrine. Okay. Storage on Molten Slag Heap. Untap. Draw Mountain. So we have 10 mana, so I can Haze of Rage buyback, Haze of Rage buyback, Haze of Rage. That is probably lethal, and math is for blockers. So Haze of Rage, Prowess Trigger, buyback. Haze of Rage, Prowess Trigger, Storm Count 1, buyback. Haze of Rage, Prowess Trigger, go to combat, attack for 1,000,000, and Lethal Intimidate. Man, Haze of Rage seems like a really good card to me. I don't... Oh my gosh. That was crazy! We just 3-0'd with the most insane limited deck I've had in forever. Oh, man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this Time Spiral limited video, because I did. That was nuts. Just mono red, Haze of Rage, empty the Warrens, nonsense. I think the Bedlam Reveler definitely made up for the game loss that it gave us earlier, because we got to play it twice. We drew 6 cards. We played it for 2 mana. Like in the absolute high side scenario, it was insane, and that's what happened. So like I'm cool with that. I'm totally fine getting a free win off of a card like that. That is nuts. Well, I was planning on not doing much more Time Spiral, but considering I just drafted this strategy, this one is way better. And I've got 6 more Time Spiral Remastered packs. I'm probably going to play some more Time Spiral. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. I know it's not the most popular playing limited and stuff like that on my channel, but I have a ton of fun doing it. And it's something that I can pre-record and then release later, so it ages a little bit better, especially for a special set like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few have been earlier. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. You're all wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!